Hello students, we were studying about nutrition. Nutrition is the process of obtaining nutrients from our food. And today we will study nutrition in plants. That how does plants obtain their food. So the food in plants, we all know that plants are autotrophs. We have studied in our last lecture. They are autotrophs because they can prepare their own food, and they can prepare their food with the help of a process which is known as photosynthesis. We have studied this in our last lecture. So they take carbon dioxide, water, and in the presence of sunlight, with the help of chlorophyll, they make their food and they releases oxygen. So this is the chemical equation. This is carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight. With the help of chlorophyll, it get converted into starch, sugar, and water and oxygen is released. C6H12O6 is sugar or starch. Now what are this chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is actually a green colored pigment which is present in the chloroplast, and chloroplast are cell organelles which is found in plant cells. So inside chloroplast is chlorophyll, and chlorophyll has this is a structure of chloroplast. Chloroplast have an outer layer and an inner layer, and there lies stroma, which is a fluid, a jelly like fluid is present in it, stroma, and there are grana. Grana are nothing but a structure which is like stack of coins, as if coins are kept one above the other. And grana are disc-like structures, and these disc-like structures, these structures are called thylakoids. Thylakoids are responsible for trapping sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. But there are certain plants which cannot perform photosynthesis. They are known as heterotrophic plants. You know, heterotrophs means those organisms which depend on some other organism for food. So there are plants which cannot perform photosynthesis, but they depend on other sources, and such plants could be categorized under 4 categories: parasitic, saprophytic, insectivorous, or symbiotic. Let us see them one by one. First is the parasitic plants. Now such plants which obtain their nutrition from other plants, maybe partially or completely, and in return they do not benefit the host plant. The plant from which they are obtaining nutrition is the host plant, and the plant which is obtaining nutrition is the parasitic plant. This is the parasite and this is the host. So these parasitic plants are such plants which obtain their nutrition from this host plant, and in return they do not give anything beneficial to the host plant. For example, mistletoe is a plant and dodder plant which is also known as cascata. So these plant, it has a poorly developed root, so it penetrates its root in the host plant and obtain nutrition from this. And cascata or dodder plant has wiry extension. It also grows around any plant which is found within its surrounding and obtain nutrition from it. Now the second category is saprophytic plant. Saprophytic plants are such plants which obtain their food from dead and decaying material. You can see these are the mushrooms. So fungi are saprophytic plants, and mushroom is a category of fungi. They can be found in hot and humid weather. They have digestive juices, and they use their digestive juices to get food from the dead and decaying matter. Okay. Now another third category is insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants since they cannot do photosynthesis and they are grown in such soil which is deficient in nitrogen. So to obtain nitrogen, they catch insects or other animals and digest them. Therefore, they have bright colors and strong odor so that they can attract insects towards them. For example, this is a picha plant. It has a very attractive features. And whenever an insect sits on the rim, this flap closes, the top closes, and it pushes the insects within this tube, and this tube is full of digestive enzymes, so the insect gets digested here. Another example is Venus flytrap. It has projections at the border of the leaf. This is the leaf-like structure, and it has projections hair-like structure. And whenever an insect sits here, this flap this shuts quickly and traps the insect and then digests it with the help of digestive enzymes. The last category is the symbiotic plants. It is somewhat similar to parasitic plants, but here both the organisms are benefited. Okay, symbiotic plants live in association and they share the resources, so both the organisms are mutually benefited, not like parasites, because in parasites the host plant doesn't get anything in return, but here both the organisms get benefit. For example, lichens is a combination of algae and fungi. Fungus gets its nutrition from the algae, and the algae gets shelter in return from the fungus. In the same way, another example is Rhizobium bacteria, found on the roots of leguminous plants. If you have ever seen leguminous plants, peanut plant, a groundnut, or the plants of cereals, some cereals, as if leguminous plants are such as tur dal plant. So if you will notice their roots, they will have nodules, and in these nodules lies Rhizobium bacteria. Rhizobium bacteria fixes nitrogen from the atmosphere and gives it to the plant, and in return it obtains nutrition from the roots of the plant. So both the organisms are mutually benefited. These were the heterotrophic plants.